Kempire is brought to you by
The Kempire After Dark live experience returns to New York City this Friday, February 21st for Black History Month. We're going to be talking about everything in Housewives, Hot Topics, Diddy, Jay-Z, Wendy Williams, and so much more. And don't feel like you're left out because for the very first time in a while, we will also be making this available via live stream. Get your tickets today. All ticket information will be available in the episode notes. I will see you soon, New York City.
You're listening to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network.
Here we go now. Here we go now. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, don't forget to like the video, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Normally, we don't go live for Married to Medicine twice in a 24-hour period, but there was some stuff that I wanted to talk about. And a lot of you have been weighing in the comment section from yesterday during our Married to Medicine recap. So if you missed that, be sure to check that out. But earlier today, we were live with our friends from Bravo We're Black. You can hear the podcast version on the Kempire podcast. But if you want to watch the visual version, that is available now on our YouTube channel. You can also watch it on Twitter. You can also watch it on our Facebook. So be sure to check that out if you missed it. And of course, be sure to follow them. Happy Black History Month. Let's not forget, we still have, 10 more days of Black History Month. I don't know about you. You should follow me on Instagram because I'm always reposting really great Black History Month factoids and stories that you may have never heard about. I know I never heard about it. And mind you, I took an actual Black history course in college. So there's a lot of Black history that we just don't know or ever hear about. So make sure you're following me on Instagram at TheKempire so you can see some of the reposts that I've been reposting. And don't forget the Kempire After Dark live experience returns to New York City this Friday. If you haven't already, get your tickets for our special live performance, joined by our friend, the Brooke Ashley as well. So get your tickets today. It should be a good old time. And of course, we're going to talk the things because I got lots to say that I don't say here and I'm going to say there. But there's also a live stream link available for those that watch me on live stream and maybe you're in another country or another whatever city and you want to be able to be a part of that experience. Get your tickets today so that you can be a part of that experience. Normally, we keep the doors shut, phones off, but in this particular case, shout out to the live stream. A lot of you have already got the live stream link. So shout out to the live stream folks, okay? For those that have been asking me about the meet and greet will follow the show. So the meet and greet will follow the show, okay? So stay tuned. All right. Oh, Lord. Where do we begin? Shout out to everyone watching on TikTok. We see you guys from behind the scenes. Keep tapping your screens. So as you know, yesterday we talked about Married to Medicine and the fight that played out on the beach in Key West, okay? There are a lot of mixed reactions to it. And this is where I tell you context is so important because based off the edit, it looks just plain as day. King was the aggressor, point blank, period. This is why I say we can never really have a strong opinion about anything because you're watching an edited show. They could literally want us to favor one particular person over the other. I am in no way making an excuse for violence or anyone's behavior here. Because if you're new here, we're not team anybody. We are team ourselves. We don't know these people and we're watching an edited show. Because I noticed with the fan base, especially for Married to Medicine, and this is part of the reason why the rest of these ladies, Heavenly, Dr. Heavenly, Dr. Jackie, and Dr. Simone, all of a sudden, they're all team quad when they were all ganging up to get her kicked off the show. Well, y'all bullied them to see your side. Please understand, that's not going to happen over here. I'm open. You look, we have everyone call in, and based off of everyone that called in, I was like, oh, you know what? I never thought about it that way. That's how we share opinions over here. You ain't going to bully us over here because you are your team Dr. Gregory or team Sweet Tea or your team or you're the quad squad. That ain't going to work over here. Okay? And not to say that people have done that. I'm just giving you a warning. Because again, this is why I say no one should be team anyone. You're watching an edited show. For all we know, the whole situation, there could have been a whole other incident. For all we know, and I'm not saying this is what happened. For all we know, Dr. Gregory could have been, saying all kinds of stuff and could have kicked King, and they edited that part out. I'm not saying that's what happened, but I'm saying that could happen, and they edited it out because he's a doctor, and they don't want, to hurt his career. I'm not saying that's what happened, but I'm just giving you an idea. Production could easily edit that out. These things have happened before, not necessarily with this production, but these things have happened before in reality television where context is left out and then everyone is like, here we go, you're wrong, you're wrong. We, the people that are watching the show, can never truly 100% be team anyone because we're watching an edited show. So keep that in mind before having any sort of strong reaction to any side. Team Sweet Tea or Team Quad, the Quad Squad. We're going to talk about Quad because Quad took to social media and she's spilling a little tea in regards to what happened after this squabble. They never made contact. And apparently, Dr. Gregory did try to file charges. Charges weren't filed, but apparently, allegedly, he did try to file charges. Caramel Complected. Hold on, wait. I like your comment. Where did your comment go, Caramel Complected? Oh, wait. Caramel Complected says, who made Kempire mad? I'm not mad. He warned everyone he has time for smoke in 2025. Hashtag villain era. I think I need to just put the merch. I just need to do the merch, right? Villain era for all of us fixed signs. Aquariuses, the Tauruses. I forgot there's some other signs. Is it Aries too? Yeah, I think Aries too are in their villain era. Just saying. So buckle up. I got time today for everyone. Anyways, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's easy. It's free. We're talking about Married to Medicine and the aftermath. We did our recap yesterday, but there's been an aftermath. So as you know, Dr. Heavenly does her weekly recap. So I ended up watching her weekly recap. I miss the days of Dr. Heavenly doing her recap and it was just here on YouTube, but I get it. She's got to make her coin. I thought she didn't need this job. I thought she didn't. Anyways, she's got to make her coin. Everybody got to make a coin. Okay. So she does, she really spills the tea on Patreon. I ain't paying for that. I miss the days of when she would just do her recap on her YouTube channel. I do like the fact that she's back to doing it by herself. But even this week of listening to her, Dr. Heavenly, I know you watch. Get a mic. Why is it your sound this week was going in and out, and then you always hollering? So it was a lot. It was a lot, okay? But I appreciate the context that she adds. Again, it's her opinion. Do I believe everything that Dr. Heavenly says on her YouTube channel? No, because there was a lot of stuff that I'm like, well, if you were friends with this one, would you see it a different way? Because like yesterday, I told you, I do agree with Sweet Tea when Sweet Tea said, if the tables were reversed and someone was coming at Dr. Jackie, you would be chiming in, asking questions. Who invited her? We saw this last season with Dr. Simone and them going to Hilton Head where Curtis allegedly got some head. Right? So I do believe if the tables were reversed, Dr. Heavenly would be doing the same thing that Sweet Tea did yesterday Sunday night. Okay. Anyways, let me take a sip. So Dr. Heavenly did 35-minute review. She's really taken back from, she used to do hour-long reviews recapping Married to Medicine. So, but she's doing it on her Patreon. So for those that want to see her spill all the tea there, fine. Okay. But so she did this 35 minutes and I have a couple of clips. I do want to give forewarning because I know a lot of you watch this channel with your children sometimes in the background and you like watching our channel because we don't curse really here. We don't really get really disgusting here, I'm giving you a warning. We are playing clips from Dr. Heavenly's YouTube channel. Okay? Just giving you a heads up, just in case you have to move the kids out of the room. All right? All right. Don't say that you haven't been warned. Mods, if we can continue to warn the people that are coming in that we will be playing clips from Dr. Heavenly's YouTube channel. So Dr. Heavenly wants to give a little bit more context. So as you know, we all were wondering, we already saw that Heavenly had given Phadra a heads up that Apollo was coming on this trip. Dr. Heavenly on her YouTube channel says she wasn't sure if production was going to show that. Remember when I say context is important? She was scared that production wasn't going to show the phone call. Not cussing alert, Mama Ellie. She wasn't sure that production was going to show when she FaceTimed with Phadra, even though people are still slamming Dr. Heavenly for inviting Apollo on this trip. Look, she was producing. Inviting Apollo for what? Why are we inviting Apollo? So that he can show Quad and Dr. Gregory how to co-parent what? Sweetie? There's no reason for it, okay? But this is why I say context is important. Imagine if they didn't show Dr. Heavenly telling Phadra, I'm inviting Apollo. And Phadra saying, that's fine with me. Imagine if they didn't show that. We all would be like, Heavenly, you are so... Because remember, that was the rumor. When the season was being filmed, the rumor came out that Phadra up and left the season abruptly. And the rumor was that Dr. Heavenly blindsided her. Blindsided her. But we saw that wasn't the case. Okay. Dr. Heavenly had some good points, though, in regards to Phadra and her relationship with Apollo. Because according to Dr. Heavenly, she says that Apollo doesn't move without, having a conversation with Phadra. I believe that. Because remember, Phadra brought Apollo onto Married to Medicine last season. She needed to. Everyone said that Phadra did not bring a thing. She didn't bring a thing. So she was like, you know what? I'm going to bring Apollo. She made it seem as if, everyone's talking about him. You didn't need to bring Apollo. Apollo needs to check. Let's be honest. What is Apollo doing for money now? Hopefully you're not giving them access to your social security number. Damn. I'm just saying. Hopefully you're not doing that. I don't know. What does Apollo do now? I know for a period of time he was hosting like parties and things with Peter Thomas, but now Peter Thomas is going to federal prison. I'm just saying. Anyways, so I do believe Apollo being on the season is to add to Phaedra's story. It is to help Phadra. Nothing wrong with that, I guess, but Married to Medicine wasn't that type of show. They didn't have to do all of these theatrics and pre-production before. But in these last couple of seasons, I told you bringing Phadra on the show would stink up the place, but Phaedra's not the only one pre-producing. Just saying. She isn't. Let's be honest. Anyways, so Dr. Heavenly talks more about Phadra and the Apollo of it all and what happened there. And she explains production knew. They gave her a heads up that Shireen, remember, what was I called? Sharon last night or Sharon? Shireen was coming. So production knew Shireen was coming. I think we all understood that. Did Phadra know Shireen was coming? I don't think so. Dr. Heavenly alleges that when Apollo found out that Czech was coming, that's his name, right? Czech was coming, a good friend of his. I don't know the depth of their relationship. Dr. Heavenly made it seem as if that's his boy. That's like his bestie. If we were to go by that, sidebar. Dr. Heavenly says they went real far. So maybe this is a real relationship because some of y'all believe that Phadra and this man, Czech, is a real relationship. Well, maybe it was because during the trip, and they didn't include this in the episode, Czech and Phadra were making out. in front of everybody. Dr. Heavenly says that she actually has footage. They were making out, and you know how Phadra is real nasty with it. So Heavenly's like, why in the hell would you be making out with this man? And Shireen just told us he's for the streets. Everybody in Atlanta is with this man. They didn't specify who or what, or him or her. They didn't specify. I'm just saying, okay. She was slobbing him down. Dr. Heavenly, despite the way that they edited the scene, she says that Apollo wasn't bothered. So Apollo wasn't bothered by it. But I guess he was bothered because Phadra told him one thing in regards to, Check didn't tell me about that you guys were friends. This is what Phadra allegedly told Apollo. He never said that you guys were friends. We clearly saw a scene where Check says that. He doesn't go in depth in regards to the friendship, at least in that scene. He just says, I know your husband. I know your husband. I'm like, okay. Vigilia says Apollo was pressed. Based on what we saw, Apollo looked pressed, and I still wondered, like, why? Do you think Apollo still wants to be with Phadra? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't get that vibe. And I don't get the vibe that she wants to be with him. I wouldn't blame her, though. Y'all saw that? Look, we went through this yesterday. I don't want to go back down that road. I'm on live. This is not Kempire After Dark. Maybe on Friday at Kempire After Dark, we can go in depth. Anyways, moving on. Can y'all focus, please? What were we talking about? Okay. So let me play a couple of clips. Again, I'm going to warn you, these are clips from Dr. Heavenly's YouTube channel. No copyright infringement. This is for fair use. We are breaking it down. Okay? But I do warn you, there's language that you're not used to here on the channel. The audio is not great either, and that's not my fault. Get a mic, Dr. Heavenly. You've been doing this too long. It doesn't cost that much to get a good mic. And a good camera. Oh, that constant... And Wi-Fi. Damn. Hey, Traveling Sag. Tisha's coming from Connecticut to our Kempire After Dark show on Friday. I can't wait to meet you. All right. So let me play a couple of these clips. So this is where Dr. Heavenly talks about Phadra and Apollo in that situation. I'm going to stop and go just to explain certain things again because audio's going in and out. Okay. All right.
It's like, listen, Phadra, I don't want no shit with you, girl. I don't want this shit now. Apollo want to come. Now, y'all know that, right? She said, Heavenly, I already know, bitch. I already know he don't make no moves without me. He don't make no moves without me, Heavenly. I say, so it's cool.
So Dr. Heavenly says, wait, I'm sorry. My King's Guards are a mess. Mama Ali is giving you guys a warning. She says, cussing and screeching, warning. Why are y'all this way? Because I'm this way? Okay, fine. Cussing and screeching. What is going on? Focus. So she's saying that she spoke with Phadra, and Phadra was fully aware. Let me play it back again.
It's like, listen, Phadra, I don't want no shit with you, girl. I don't want this shit now. Apollo want to come. Now, y'all know that, right? She said, Heavenly, I already know, bitch. I already know he don't make no moves without me. He don't make no moves without me, Heavenly. I say, so it's cool, right? And just so my producer I said, let me get this shit on camera because if I don't, this bitch gonna lie. And that's exactly what she tried to do. I said, Phadra, if you don't want this man...
If you watch the episode, Phadra, it's very quick, especially if you're not watching and paying attention. Phadra does try to make it seem like she didn't know Apollo was coming. Remember that.
Heavenly, I already know he coming. I already got it. Now, the problem lies is what y'all don't realize is that I didn't know Check was coming. I did not know. I saw the speed day night. I was there. He picked her up. I felt like she already knew him. I don't know that for a fact, but I put my hat on it. I bet you $1,000 she did. She had this renter man, okay? So we didn't know she was gonna bring him to the thing. That's why I was joking that she was gonna play with herself. And then when she saw, I said, oh, Phadra got him in. But then in the back of my head, I'm like, oh, she know Apollo coming. Okay, now evidently, I'm just gonna say this. Her and Apollo was talking, because y'all see that they was talking. She said, yes, but you told me the man said he didn't know me. Now, this is where the part come in, and I got confused, and I got all I got all messed up in the head with this, because I ain't know none of this. They told me right before I got on the boat, who is they, the people that be, the world. I found out that not only was Apollo coming, right before we got on the boat, they said, Shireen is coming. Now, I know I ain't stupid. I already know that Phadra already said she don't talk to Shireen. I'm thinking she thinks she the mistress, so she don't fuck with Shireen. I don't know. I don't care. I don't got nothing to do with it, right? I'm doing my damn job. You know what I mean? I invited the man. I invited his wife. He said, no, I'm not bringing my wife. I'm not doing no funny business. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing that. Okay, your wife ain't coming. Phadra, Apollo coming, but I did invite the wife. She said heavily, I already know he ain't finna do no shit like that. He not finna bring his wife, so I ain't even worried about that. I said, okay, well, you know better than I do, because I know what I'm supposed to say. I know what I'm supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? He ain't bring the wife. Okay, I'm cool. Apollo found out. Now, I don't give a damn what y'all say. Maybe he do still like Phadra. Maybe Phadra still like him. Maybe whatever. I'm just telling you what the hell happened. When Check called Apollo, some kind of way Apollo found out that Check was coming with Phadra. Now that's confusing to me, whether he told her, he told Check told him, or somebody else told. I don't know how he found out, but he knew. Because he said, once I realized Phadra was bringing my good friend Check, of course I'm going to be my wife. I'm not going to sit around and look stupid. I got to bring somebody. I'm not going to sit here by myself.
So that is the reason why Apollo decided to bring Shireen on the trip, is because he found out that Check was going to be there as well. Uncle Paul says, Heavenly said when she called to see where Apollo was, she said that they were on their way. But we don't know when production told Heavenly about Apollo bringing Shireen. She could have known at that particular point. She does admit that she was told by production that Shireen was going to be attending. Okay.
Because he said, once I realized Phadra was bringing my good friend Check, of course I'm going to be my wife. I'm not going to sit around and look stupid. I got to bring somebody. I'm not going to sit here by myself. Okay. Now, I already know these bitches don't get along. So I'm thinking like, okay, what's this going on? Because Phadra said that she know he not finna bring him. Then when they get on the boat, I didn't know that Apollo and Shireen knew Check. That threw me for a loop. I'm sitting there like I'm looking at a soap opera, whatever. Check, no, Apollo. Oh, golly. Okay.
Well, here's the thing. And look, we're probably not going to get any sort of context when it comes to how deep this friendship was between Check, Apollo, and Shireen. Shireen says that Check comes and spends Thanksgiving. Her kids call him uncle. So it seems like they're close. So I think Apollo feels bamboozled. So maybe the reaction that we're getting, again, why we're watching a reality show, an edited reality show. Apollo's reaction seems like he's jealous, but it sounds like Apollo's reacting because he's feeling like he's blindsided by allegedly Phadra not giving him the entire story or the entire truth. I'm not saying that's the facts, guys. I'm just saying it seems as if we try to piece together what's happening here, then I'm thinking, well, maybe that is why Apollo is coming across jealous, or it seems like he's concerned. He was like, but you didn't tell me that you guys were together. And because you remember they said that when Check was like, I don't have to tell you everything, because Check mentioned that he was going to the speed dating event. He says he also told Apollo that I matched with Phadra. Just because you match with someone at a speed dating event, I wouldn't suspect that you're coming on a reality show with that person on a couples trip We all, including the entire cast, were shocked that Phadra brought this man on a couples trip, a man you just met. Dr. Heavenly says she's not sure if Phadra didn't know Czech before. I don't know. But apparently Czech, allegedly, according to Shireen and Apollo, is for the streets. He's with everybody in Atlanta. Sidebar, if Czech is such a good friend to you guys, would you talk that way about your friend on a reality show to some strangers? I don't think I would say that on a reality show to these people I don't know. I don't know. Dr. Heavenly also talks about some of the comments that Phadra made about Shireen in regards to calling her a bad body B word or big body B word. She says she doesn't think that Shireen hurt her. She's like, Shireen looked like she can fight. I don't know what that look's supposed to look like, but y'all might be surprised. Some people that y'all think that can't fight might shock you. Just saying. So again, for me, this live is more about where it's a reminder that we are watching an edited show and that the simplest taking out one particular part of a story can change the whole narrative. Okay. Sap Fam TC says she called her a Mexican drunk lord. She did call her that, didn't she? Look, Dr. Heavenly did say a few things in her live that I will not repeat. That I felt was, she just got lost in it. Like she was just going off on Sweet Tea, talking about Sweet Tea, because I guess Sweet Tea had talked about her body. So she started going off on Sweet Tea. It was a lot. I'm not going to play those for you, but it was a lot. All right. Anyways, guys, I am going to drop the call-in link for members. I already did for our Royal Court members and our Senior Royals. Team Kempire members, I will be dropping the call-in link for you guys because I want to hear your reaction to some of the information that's coming out from Dr. Heavenly and Quad. I don't know. Do we know if Sweet Tea, I didn't get a chance. It's been a busy day. I didn't get a chance to see if Sweet Tea has posted her recap. Because, I'm fair. I want to hear her side. I want to hear what she has to say. Stay tuned. Maybe I'll go live again. Not today. Okay. Des says, it was mean, but I was dying with her talking about tea. It was it's like she really got lost. She went off. She blacked out. I was like, oh my gosh. And mind you, the screeching voice, the bad audio, I was just like, ooh, this is a lot. Okay. Anyways, so Dr. Heavenly wasn't done. So as I told you before, I don't know what was really happening between Czech and Phadra. I told you I didn't believe the relationship. I believe she was paying him to be on the show. Ooh. But according to Dr. Heavenly, she has video. A bunch of them were recording Phadra and Czech making out in Key West. Like slobbing. Ew. And Heavenly was disgusted by it because Shireen's over here saying that he's for the streets. So, do you want to make out with someone that's for the streets? Okay. I know. Thank you, Queen. Queen D says, Kempire, please sage and cleanse after listening to all that negativity. Look, I sage and cleanse on a daily basis. Please understand. And I got my crystals in here. I got my crystals in the room. Just saying. I do all that stuff. All right. So, let's move on and get to the next clip. And then we will take some callers. So, the King versus Dr. G fight. That is what everyone is still reacting to today. All right. A lot of people have their strong opinions as to who started it. I've seen a lot of people say Dr. G was the aggressor. I see some people say, nope, King was wrong. I get it. I understand. But based on what we saw, it made it seem like King was the aggressor. As you know, Dr. Heavenly came online and revealed that someone went and trying to press charges. Apparently, charges never happened. Some of you said that there was a restraining order. I haven't seen the paperwork. Okay, Mary says King was in the wrong. Okay, hold on. I'm losing all my the chats that I wanted to. Oh wait, Purple Yellow says that Quad's live with King was dumb. Quad takes no accountability. Mary says that King was in the wrong. Okay. Here, and then Messenger Spiritual Army Angel says Dr. G was the aggressor holding his hands up, trying to be a big giant, and was jealous about 15 times of sex. Look, both Toya, even Dr. Heavenly in her live says that she felt like Toya was the one hyping up this stuff. And look, at the end of the day, Toya was probably speaking what everyone else was feeling watching this game play out amongst the couples. It was very clear that Quad was drunk. Would I allow Quad to set me off? No. So remember when I said that based on what Dr. G said on the show, where he says you need to shut your effing mouth or something like that, Dr. Heavenly says he also said that she needs to shut the F up. But remember, King says he didn't hear that. He thought that Dr. Gregory was talking to Sweet Tea. He didn't know that he was talking to Quad. Okay. All right. Let me play you one more clip in regards to, well, two more clips actually, because I have to play what Quad had to say. But this is what Dr. Heavenly had to say about the King and Dr. Gregory fight.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you, she ran over to the people. The people tried to stop her. Simone tried to say, she pushed Simone. Simone was like, bitch, don't push me. Simone pushed her back. So basically, her and Simone had a fight. She pushed Simone. Simone pushed her. Some kind of way, Phadra was trying.
She's talking about Sweet Tea.
Hold her back. This bitch says, I'm finna go fight King. Because I'm going to use my military powers and I'm going to fight King because my husband.
Pause. So you remember, we didn't get to see I think Dr. Heavenly doesn't realize that she's going ahead of the episode because all we see is the beginning of this argument between King and Dr. Gregory. And then we see King run for Dr. Gregory. Then we see Quad running across the beach saying, no, 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 no. And then we see Sweet Tea break away from Phadra, and then she's on her Baywatch run. Like, she's serious. So she's saying Sweet Tea, they were trying to stop Sweet Tea from getting in the fight. And apparently Sweet Tea got into it with Dr. Simone. And then she's getting into it with Phadra. Okay, let me play this for you again.
I'm going to tell you, she ran over to the people. The people tried to stop her. Simone tried to say, she pushed Simone. Simone was like, bitch, don't push me. Simone pushed her back. So basically, her and Simone had a fight. She pushed Simone. Simone pushed her. Some kind of way, Phadra was trying to hold her back. This bitch says, I'm finna go fight King. Because I'm going to use my military powers and I'm going to fight King. Because my husband is the breadwinner and he can't be fighting. Now I'm going to say this and I'm going to take it back. This is all I'm going to say about it and I'm going to leave it alone. I don't know what y'all saw. I don't know what.
Wait, yes, thank you, Lee, because someone did call in yesterday saying this, that, and mind you, our live recap was before Dr. Heavenly recorded this. Were you watching Dr. Heavenly? Lee says, someone called in and said that it looked like Letitia tapped into her military training to get King. Y'all remember that from yesterday when they called in during our recap? Okay, let me play this again.
Fight King because my husband is the breadwinner and he can't be fighting. Now I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna take it back. This is all I'm gonna say about it and I'm gonna leave it alone. I don't know what y'all saw. I don't know what y'all saw though. I can't tell y'all what happened, but I'll tell you, and I be telling the truth from what I can see. Greg came for the smoke. He was all in that dude's face doing his chest like, man, yeah, I told your wife to shut the fuck up. Okay, now you're looking at the push-up. Now, mind you, I was not over there. However, the people got eyes all over the world. Go and put the push-ups back up there. When this man was doing one Letitia, two Letitia, they said he was looking at King directly. Now, how we...
Remember, I talked about this on my TikTok, right? TikTok, I did a short video recapping Married to Medicine. I never do like an under a minute recap for Married to Medicine, but there's just too much to talk about. And I don't want to leave our TikTok community, not knowing what I've been hearing. So we saw this. Again, we're watching an edited show. But based on what we saw, I didn't see Dr. Gregory even look up. And remember, Dr. Heavenly was not there. She's hearing this secondhand. When we watched it, first of all, he didn't even do a full push-up. So I don't even think he could look up. So can we imagine that he's doing one Letitia, two Letitia, three Letitia? And he's looking at King. I don't know if I believe that part. Okay, I don't know if I believe that's what he was doing. Do I know that Dr. Gregory is a little off, a little strange? In this episode alone, the rest of the cast, the other guys are sort of like, oh gosh, Dr. Gregory, why'd you say that? Don't say that. He says things that are odd, okay? But anyways, Beautiful just says, oh, why you lying? So I don't know if I believe that 100%. Again, Dr. Heavenly is reporting this secondhand. The video that we watched, it didn't even look like he was looking up, okay? Here comes Cinnamon trying to put some gasoline on the situation. Cinnamon says he was looking to the side. MH says that King was right in front of him. Here y'all go. It was weird. It was weird. Like, why are we saying her name? Tanya says the push-up part was awkward. It was. Sap says he definitely had his head turned. Why are y'all doing this? Okay. All right. But exactly. Biana says she clearly says she wasn't over there. She's hearing this secondhand. But maybe he did. Again, we're watching an edited show. Why is he looking at King like that? All right. I'm not done.
What is that? He was looking at King saying, one Letitia, two Letitia. I don't know. That's what the people had said now. So he was already bothered. He fell off the boat. He see this man that looked nice. He see Quad with the man. His heart's still with Quad.
Wait, Dr. Gregory fell off the boat. Did we see that? We saw Toya fall off the boat. Did Dr. Gregory fall off the boat too? Did I miss that part? Or did we not see that part? You guys let me know in the live chat.
The girl go running after him. You know what I'm saying? He's upset and she don't know why he's so upset because he hurt. And Quad playing in his face. Quad was wrong as hell. I'm just going to say that that's my girl. And I got my whole freaking life because y'all asked for it and that's what the hell y'all wanted and y'all got it. But the man, he came for the smoke. Sweet Tea goes over there, and I'm going to say this, and that's all I'm going to say, and it's the baddest thing I'm going to say. This is all I'm going to say. The man said, I will not fight. I am a doctor. I will not fight a man. And King said, you don't have no problem fighting a woman, do you? That's when it kicked off. I don't know if they showed it.
That's what took me out. I was like, because we talked about this yesterday. We've talked about the abuse allegations that Quad had against Dr. Gregory and in their relationship. We knew that relationship and the jail, all kinds of stuff happened in that relationship. Cheating happened in that relationship. But that last part, I was like, but they didn't show that. They did not show that. So again, for those that are like, well, no, King was the aggressor. I'm not saying that he wasn't. But that, I was like, wait, he said what? Kay says, well, did he lie? No. But it might explain why Dr. Gregory gets all real hot in the head. Let me play it again.
You don't have no problem fighting a woman, do you?
Wait, hold on.
But the man, he came for the smoke. Sweet Tea goes over there, and I'm going to say this, and that's all I'm going to say, and it's the baddest thing I'm going to say. This is all I'm going to say. The man said, I will not fight. I am a doctor. I will not fight a man. And King said, you don't have no problem fighting a woman, do you? That's when it kicked off. I don't know if they showed it. Maybe I'm wrong for saying it. Take it back, Lord. But he said, you don't got no problem fighting a woman. So he already got animosity because he done heard all the stories. Whether...
So someone just remind me in the chat. I do remember that Dr. Gregory, but I thought he fell off this particular boat. No, you remind me from, what was it, last week's episode when his boat turned over when they were doing the competition. So that is when that happened. But if King said that to Dr. Gregory, I could see Dr. Gregory getting, a little hot in the head because he then was like, oh, you wait and see in regards to Quad and Dr. Gregory's relationship. Quad and King's relationship. Wait and see. And then when he was being aggressive towards King, he's like, "Oh, I knew that you had that in you." I don't remember the exact words that he used. Yes, Alma. We talked about this yesterday. Alma says Dr. Gregory confirmed at the reunion that their relationship got physical. Bravo shouldn't have brought him back. Points have been made. However, Apollo has DV allegations too. Recent ones between him and Shireen. I know she decided not to press charges, but initially she said that their relationship got physical. That's recent. Just saying. If we're talking about everybody in the allegations, that's a recent one between Shireen and Apollo. Oh, thank you, Demi. Demi says, "I knew you would." That I can't even mimic his voice. I might hurt my voice. I knew you were like that. I knew you was like that. Oh, damn. That's what Dr. Gregory said to King. But I wish we would have. I don't know why they wouldn't. Well, I know why they didn't want to do that. They did not want to remind the audience of the allegations that we already knew about, and that the audience has elephant brains, and they're never going to forget that. So that's probably why they decided not to leave it in. All right. So we're not done. So Quad was on Instagram Live, and she also wanted to weigh in when it comes to Dr. Gregory trying to press charges. So yesterday when we talked about, the pressing of charges. Oh, that was a good impersonation? Thank you, guys. I'm working. I need to take an improv class here in New York, okay? Work on my acting. Anyways, so is Quad in Jamaica with King? I want so much more for Quad than this, to be honest with you. I do. But, I'm happy for her. But at the same time, after watching this clip, I was sort of like, Quad. But let me show you the Quad, her addressing the charges and everything. Okay?
I'm going
Oh,
to
they
jail.
said you're going to jail, baby. Why? Why would he do
What
that?
am I going to jail for?
No, don't try to put my
Yeah, I'm
baby
going
in
to jail for
jail.
an argument.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. All right.
That's done, honey. King called down to the police precinct, child. They said that was ridiculous, and they cannot file any charges. So, people say anything don't, and y'all run with it. Don't run with it, baby.
Was
Gotta
I
check
banned
into
from
it.
the show?
So here's the thing in reference to the show.
Because there were rumors, I don't think they're rumors anymore, that after this altercation that never actually made contact, but there was an argument, a very heated argument that could have gotten physical. Apparently, King was not able to film with the rest of the group. Okay?
So, people say anything don't, and y'all run with it. Don't run with it, baby.
Was
Gotta
I
check
banned
into
from
it.
the show?
So here's the thing in reference to the show. What happened with that after what we saw on the sandbar? My ex, his ego was stepped on, and so he wanted to get one up on us. And so he decided that he wanted to go to the network and complain and go to the police department and try to, quote unquote, file some charges. And so for the moment, until we were done investigating, they had said that King can film, but he could not film with the rest of the group at that time. But he could, of course, we have our own personal story, so he could continue to film with me.
What is King and Quad's personal story that we've gotten this season? I guess maybe we'll get it this week in regards to him not wanting to move into her home. What exactly is their personal story? In all fairness, we're watching an edited show. She could have a full storyline, and they're not showing it. Literally, I got some tea from, I think it was from the last season, Dr. Simone's original storyline. They didn't play her storyline because it was too similar to Toya's. So what we got from Dr. Simone last season was, what was she doing? It wasn't the book season. It was something else. So it was like, you can't always be mad at the reality stars. You got to be mad at production and the network. Okay. Jabari says a non-factor story. Stephanie says a baby. Well, they didn't really. They talked a little bit. Look about a baby. Lily says a blossoming relationship. Is that enough? We're watching a show called Married to Medicine. Neither one of them are married to medicine. And look, and this is coming from someone, I do enjoy Quad on Married to Medicine. I've enjoyed her over the years. Cleaning up the condo, that was Dr. Simone's storyline, yeah. Apparently she filmed a whole other different storyline, but they said it was too closely alike to Toya's story for that season, so they focused on something else. So just keep that in mind. This is what happens behind the scenes, okay? Anyways, so let me continue playing this, and then we will get to the callers. Oh, members of the channel, I have dropped the call-in link for our Queen's Court? No. Our Royal Court and Senior Royals. Team Kempire members, I'm dropping the call link for you guys as well. Live chat. King's Guards, let me know how many likes we should get to, because we have almost 2,000 of you watching and not even 500 likes. So, won't be dropping the call link for you, okay? Brown Sugar says, but none of them got a storyline. I mean, that was another thing that came up yesterday when we were taking callers, that there are a lot of people on Married to Medicine that don't necessarily have a storyline. What's Dr. Jackie's storyline this year? What's Dr. Simone's storyline this year? And you know what I always say, you don't need to have a storyline if you're an interesting person. I can't say that these people are that interesting. In all fairness, though, Dr. Simone this week did make me laugh a lot in her confessionals, because it was like she was narrating all the tomfoolery that we were watching. Okay, Foxy says, live chat, we need to get to 750 likes, and then I will drop the call-in link for you guys. Okay? 750 likes. Look, Mama Allie, and can y'all coordinate together? Okay. Let's get to 750 likes, and I'll drop the call-in link for our members. Okay? All right. And liking the video, it's easy, it's free. It helps support not just my channel, but other channels will start to pop up on your Explorer page as well. So be sure to like the video. Okay? Tisha says, Dr. Jackie's storyline is, don't ask me about where Curtis is. Really? Really? Let me play the rest of this, okay?
Try to, quote unquote, file some charges. And so for the moment, until we were done investigating, they had said that King can film, but he could not film with the rest of the group at that time. But he could, of course, we have our own personal story, so he could continue to film with me. But this is my man, and we're a package. So I'm saying, for forever, everyone has always asked me about, Miss Quad, where your man at? Where your man at? You know, and you don't have a man, and this and that and other. And so now I'm sharing this with you, that I do have a man, and it was kind of like a slap in the face when it was stated that he could not at that time film with the rest of the group. But this is my...
Oh, a slap in the face that he couldn't film with the rest of the group? Well, here's the thing. In all fairness, your man charged after someone. They have rules about that. You know about these rules. Quad, you also were in a physical altercation on this show. They have rules. You physically, it's one thing to use your mouth and use your mouth and be like this in an argument. Remember though, who went up to who? King went up to Dr. Gregory. So this didn't, first of all, the timing of it was off. There was no reason for King to go up to Dr. Gregory. This was the wrong time, another time, okay? But Dr. Gregory did not get physical based on what we saw with King. King tried to get physical running up on Dr. Gregory. And here go the HR me. They got to investigate. So all parties got to be separated. King seems to be the aggressor. I'm sure based on what Quad just said, Dr. Gregory went to the network. So now he's the initiator of a complaint. This is why you got to be separated. This is how you have to understand. This is how it goes. Chelsea said that Dr. Gregory was aggressively walking up on King. But didn't King pull him to the side? You guys make up stuff. We saw King, again, in edited show, we saw King go up to Dr. Gregory to have a conversation. So how is Gregory being the aggressor? You pulling me to the side as I'm trying to pull my wife from fighting Dr. Heavenly to have another conversation. Just keep that in mind. Anyways, Wen says that Quad needs to go over to Love and Hip Hop with Yandy. Lord. Shy says that he's back to filming with the cat. Well, now he is, because they had to investigate. That's what Quad said in the video. Veronique says that King approached. Just saying. Look, I don't have any. What is the word? I don't have anything in this fight. We don't know these people. At this particular point, I'm tired of the Quad versus Dr. G. You guys don't like each other. You never liked each other. It was a toxic situation in general. Not sure why we thought that this would be entertainment to watch. Just saying. Let me say thank you, because we had quite a few super chats that I wanted to get to. Hold on. Guys, don't forget to like the video. Once we get to 750 likes, I will drop the call-in link for the general audience. But if you're a member of the channel, we've already dropped the call-in link on the community tab. Scarlett, thank you so much for the super chat. Scarlett says, when Sweet Tea and G aren't around next season, Quad better be prepared for part 2 of getting iced out by her coworkers / friends. She's not learning. I mean, that's a valid point. Who are they going to talk about next season if Sweet Tea and Dr. Gregory aren't there? What is going to be the drama? If they bring Dr. Mimi back, they're going to go after her? Seniors, thank you so much for the super chat. Senior says, funny how producers kept this out. It's giving bad edit. And I think you're referring to the whole comment that King made to Dr. Gregory about fighting women. Nicole, thank you so much for the super chat. Nicole says, people need to watch season 1. Quad is not innocent. I mean, I don't think you need to just watch season 1. Rahina, thank you so much for the super chat. Rahina says, hi, I'm late, but good impression of Dr. G, laughing out loud. You know what, Rahina. Love is Regal, thank you so much for the super chat. Love is Regal says, Dr. G and Quad were both physical with each other. That's why they both were arrested in that particular incident. Evie, thank you so much for the super chat. Evie says, bring the lady Curtis cheated on Jackie with. I mean, here's the thing. If Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Jackie weren't cool, do you think that Dr. Heavenly would have done that? Evie continues, says, bring Tammy on the show. Hashtag Battle of the Exes. Cecil's ex-best friend that caused an issue in their marriage, almost caused Dr. Simone and Cecil to get divorced, also caused the reason why they didn't complete the book, because they weren't able to talk about that. Someone said that on my TikTok too, that in order to get back at them, she should bring Cecil's ex-best friend. Ray, thank you so much for the super chat. Ray says, no, Gregory walks up to King on beach chairs. But who initiated the conversation? Mind you, what we see on the edit, we see Dr. Gregory pulling Sweet Tea aside. Remember, right before this, Sweet Tea was arguing with Dr. Heavenly. That was almost got physical. And Heavenly fell back into the water. You remember that? As he's trying to pull Sweet Tea to the side, King comes up. He's like, oh, I want to have a conversation with you. This ain't the time to have a conversation. He pulls him to the side to have this conversation. And this is where he's saying, you don't need to talk to Quad. If you need to talk to me. And this is where it gets heated. Okay? So the initiation of this conversation in an already heated moment was King, based off of what we watched. Okay. Laisha? Thank you so much for the super chat. You have a biased outlook as it's hard to watch. What do you mean, Laisha? You do realize that we're watching let me school you. Pull up. You're watching an edited show. You're also watching a show of entertainment. You're watching a recap. This ain't CNN. If that's what you're looking for a full report on Married to Medicine with a CNN perspective, go there. But thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate the coin. Like, you have a biased outlook. I'm reminding you throughout this recap that you are watching an edited show, that context is important. If anything, I've been twerking on the fence on King's side, on Dr. G's side, but I have the biased outlook. Clearly, you have the biased outlook because you are one-sided on a show that you were not there. You did not see either one. You're watching an edited version, and you probably didn't watch it as many times as I did to do this report. Move and go away. Yeah. What do? Thank you for watching. We appreciate the engagement. You have a biased outlook. Girl. Mrs. Creaky, thank you so much for the super chat. Mrs. Creaky says, this is childish and ghetto. Like you said, these people are weird. Oh my gosh. Lauren, thank you so much for the super chat. Lauren says Contessa charged Heavenly and knocked Jackie down. So what are you trying to say, Lauren? That they should have put a timeout for Dr. Contessa? Probably. I don't know. Maybe they did, and we just didn't know about it. Jazz, thank you so much for the super chat. Jazz says, people are confusing the two conversations between Dr. G and King. In the second conversation, King was the aggressor, which led to the fight. And again, the thing with edits, for all we know, some of this stuff didn't happen in the timeline that we are watching it either. So keep that in mind. But anyways, I'm not fighting for people or arguing with people on the internet that I don't know, neither want to know, or will never see. Moving on. Let me get to the callers. Guys, if you're just joining us, don't forget to like the video. It's easy and it's free. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It's a subscribers only live chat. So we appreciate you all being here. All right. Okay, let's get to our callers backstage. Once we get to 750 likes, we will drop the call-in link for the general audience. But if we don't get there, that's fine too. I can go enjoy the rest of my evening. Okay? Anyways. All right, Lee's backstage. We're going to bring Lee up next. Let me just put up my disclaimer. Hold on, Lee. There we go. All right. Let's bring up Lee first. Lee, what did you want to share?
Hey, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm like you. I'm twerking on a fence. Like I called in yesterday and I said that I think this conversation was just the wrong time. And I think everybody's like emotions is just going crazy. But also what I want to say is I think that Dr. G and Quad, I do not think that they have feelings for each other. But I think that they trigger each other to an extent that it is not healthy for them to be around each other. I personally would not be able to be around my ex and not be triggered. Not because I want to be with him, not because I still love him, but because of everything that transpired. It's just triggering. And it's like, we can't say like, oh, well, you moved on, get over it. It doesn't work that way. Like, you know, especially what they've been through, it just doesn't work that way. So I do want to give them grace. But now I also tiny little bit, want to give Letitia grace too, and King grace, because they are kind of, you know, they want to be with these, you know, these people, but they're in a circumstance where they have to be where their person is triggered. That's not easy to navigate. You know, the only person in this situation that's a psychiatrist or a therapist is Dr. G. So, you know, having your partner trying to, you know, console you in that moment, it's hard for them too. So I feel for them in that way. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, Lee, for calling in. All right. Bye. All right. Wait a second. Kia says, why would you use that unflattering pic of Phadra, the shade? Do you see how perception is a thing? I actually think that's a beautiful picture of Phadra. But you think that it's me being shady by using that photo. I actually think that's a nice picture of Phadra. There are plenty of other pictures I could use of Phadra that aren't necessarily the most flattering. I actually like that photo. But okay, Kia. Not everything y'all believe is shade is actually shade. Elsie Charm, thank you so much for the super chat. Elsie says, I want to see Black excellence with some fun, conflict resolution, not Heavenly reverting to her missed youth. Damn. Rashawn, thank you so much for the super chat. Rashawn says, sidebar, Check has been around the block. The streets of Atlanta have been talking. Rashawn, do tell. Do tell, Sean. What are you saying, Rashawn? What are you saying? I mean, look, they've already said this on the show. Literally, Shireen says that he was for the streets. Okay. All right. Kai's backstage. We're going to bring Kai up next. Kai, what did you want to share about Married to Medicine?
Hi, Kempire. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. Okay, I just want to say this. Y'all know I'm always going to defend my soror unless it's regular Robin. I won't ever be defending her. But here's the thing about the whole Dr. G, for me, he's too comfortable being disrespectful to women. And so I'm never going to be on the side of him. It's just very telling to me. Their first initial conversation when he got out the chair and he was saying, well, I told her to shut the F up and da-da-da. I think that's very weird to be saying to someone's new partner. It doesn't matter that you guys are exes. Even Eugene and everybody's face was kind of telling to me that, like okay, you're doing too much. And I think if I was King, he didn't want to apologize. That first interaction didn't go well. I probably would have been stewing on that. And I probably would have had to go and try to rehash that as well. I also think tone plays a big part.
At that time?
Maybe not. But, I don't know. Alcohol's flowing, guys.
Oh.
I also feel like Greg's tone, it can set people off. Like, you don't have to be the first one to, I guess, take a swing or take charge. But he was kind of talking to him a little bit crazy. So where I might have to take my shirt off, too. Let's just go on and fight, because you're talking to me like you want to fight me.
Oh, Kai, you about that life?
Miss Quad, she got it. Okay, y'all?
Bye, Kai.
Bye.
All right, Hayat is backstage. We're going to bring Hayat up next. Hayat, what did you want to share about this Married to Medicine?
Empire.
Yes.
I swear these people be coming for you this year. What's going on? Anyways.
And they don't realize I got it for them.
That, you know what? I want that on a hat. This ain't CNN.
They think because I'm quiet and I smile a lot that I wasn't raised here in New York City and that I'm a gay man that can get you together real quick.
Ooh, Kempire, I love. You know what? I don't like to see people take you there, but I like that energy. Don't let anybody come for you.
Nope.
Pow, pow. Anyways. Kempire, oh my God. You know what I realized watching this show? It doesn't matter what your degrees are. It doesn't matter how rich you get. It doesn't matter how affluent your life looks. They all still operate so old school. They literally rally around Dr. G and when I say they, I'm talking about the women. They tend to rally around Dr. G, and it gets me so irritated to the point that it makes me want to not come for Quad. And I do need to come for Quad a little bit because I see it. And I think that next season, if Quad needs to make some kind of truce with some of the other women, and they need to come at Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone with these ladies that are in the dark for them. Because that's what they need to get, a little taste of their own medicine. And also, I don't think we need to talk about making these people move to Love and Hip Hop because of an altercation. Like, Beverly Hills should have been on Love and Hip Hop then. Remember when Lisa Rinna crack the glass when she was talking to her husband? I'm just saying. And we have Kim over there who had a significant other that was married for a good portion of the first couple of years on Atlanta. So let's not talk about Black people that way. Anyways, Kempire, love you, love the live, and you need to get This Ain't CNN on a hat.
Oh, okay. Bye, Hayat.
Bye.
Bye, Big Papa. Sidebar, they sold Kim and Croy's house, finally. I don't know how much it was. I didn't get to read the report yet. Just saying. All right, let's get to some more callers. But before we do that, let me just say thank you. We had a super chat from Tish. Tish says, I will die on this hill. Heavenly and Dr. Jackie brought that man back. They put Quad in this position and deserve the smoke. And Heavenly admits that they wanted to bring Sweet Tea on the show. I believe she even mentions it in this most recent live recap. She admitted that. Did Dr. Jackie admit it? Anyways, but now they've turned on Sweet Tea. Now they don't want anything to do with Sweet Tea. And I think, again, what they've accused Dr. Heavenly of being Dr. Jackie's pit bull. Dr. Jackie seems like all, peaceful and whatnot, but they're not trying to protect Sweet Tea either. They're like, yeah, get her, and you can be the bad guy. All right. Jaceline's backstage. We're going to bring Jaceline up next. Jaceline, what did you want to share?
Hey, Camp. I like the all black.
Thank you.
A couple of things. Number one, King strikes me as a handsome simpleton and who's very traditional. And so, with everything that Quad told him, I think he felt the need to make sure that he was showing up for her, especially with everything that was said. And so he did approach at the wrong time. But then you have Dr. G talking to him from a baby folding chair in the sand. Sir, get up and approach him like a man. You are a psychiatrist. You're supposed to have these observation skills, these communication skills, but they always go out the window in your personal life. And so something is wrong and you actually need therapy yourself. Maybe write yourself a prescription. Lastly, I also think that King's approach to Dr. Greg wasn't necessarily wrong. He was saying the same thing that Heavenly has said. If we're talking woman to woman, keep it that way. But when you start addressing a man, it needs to be man to man. And I'm not saying that that's my approach, but that's what they've established on this show. And that's what he was saying to Dr. G.
But
and
was that the right time?
Yeah. And so I don't.
That was the right time in the middle of another argument?
No, but he's a simpleton. Excuse me, we need to talk right now. I mean, he's a simpleton. So, I mean, Dr. Greg is the seasoned man. He should have been able to have a better conversation or be able to steer that to a better time, but he just didn't.
Okay. Thank you, Jesseline.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Bye. I always go back to, was that the right time, though? Because literally, it didn't even seem like seconds. It wasn't seconds because you see Dr. Gregory pulling Sweet Tea aside because of another fight. I don't think that's the right time to like, let's have a conversation. But as Jesseline said, she thinks that he's a simpleton. Okay. Sir Capricorn is backstage. I'm going to bring Sir Capricorn up next. Sir Capricorn, what's going on?
What's up, Kempire?
How are you doing?
It's been a minute.
I know.
I'm doing good. So I'm trying to breeze through this real quick. So I do think, so with the Phadra and Apollo situation, Shireen, I do think, no matter how I don't know how much time again between production and Heavenly, but at least I think there was much time before they got there that she could have been like, pull Phadra aside and be like, hey, just letting you know, I was just told that Shireen is coming too. Like at least some form of heads up. That way it won't, because to us, it does look like she set her up. So that's that. I do kind of agree with you that that was King. It was kind of like the wrong time, but again, like you said, it's the end of the show, so we don't know how much time in between it could have been where he pulled him to the side. But I do think pulling him to the side was the right thing to do. That way, get him away from the group and just have a one-on-one conversation. But I think also that Dr. G saw an opportunity to get an audience and he took it. Because I feel like he does, like, based off of what we've seen, he tends to do that a lot, where he sees that he can get an audience and he takes advantage of it. But that's pretty much what I got.
All right. Thank you, Sir Capricorn, for calling in. All right. We're going to bring up Bernice next. Hold on. Hey, Bernice, what's going on?
Hey, Kempire. How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Okay, I'm just sitting here listening to you. And what I wanted to say was, from what I saw, in my opinion, when they were on the beach and Dr. G was sitting down, they had a conversation. Eventually, Dr. G got up. He said what he said to King. And then it looked like supposedly they had squashed it until Dr. G said something to alert King, where King was like, oh, no, he needs to apologize to Quad later. So he held on to that. But then when Sweet Tea was about to fight Dr. Heavenly, that's when Dr. G went and, was trying to get his wife. King stepped to him because he was like, okay, let me see. This is the perfect time. I want to talk to him about, like, he needs to apologize to Quad for telling her to shut the F up or whatever he said. But it was the wrong time to do that because Dr. G was trying to help his wife or, stop his wife. So he comes and he starts telling him all that. If you had watched it before when he was sitting at the chairs, he should have just left it alone and then maybe gradually they could have been like, he could have been like, okay, Dr. G, can I speak to you later? I have an issue with like what you said. And, handle it like a man, like talk to him and, but all that, what he was saying, you ain't going to talk to her, you going to talk to me. And like, that was unnecessary. And for Dr. G to be a doctor, he could have just been like, you know what? I don't have time for this, and walked away and went to get his wife and then handled the situation later.
Okay.
This is the reason why I sometimes don't like to watch this show. I'm sorry, I'm going over my time. I never do, but the reason why I don't like to watch this show is because these are supposed to be doctors, and a lot of them act like they ghetto, like they got ghetto mentality. Especially Dr. Heavenly, she needs to go because it's not making the show look good.
All right.
Bring some doctors that has some, that know how to throw shade without having to make such nasty TV.
Okay. Thank you,
For
Bernice, for calling in.
entertainment. All right.
Take care. All right. We have more people backstage, but let me just say thank you because we had a couple of super chats. Nelly, thank you so much for the super chat. Nelly says, I don't understand how Quad showed her tail the night before, yet blames Dr. G, calls him an aggressor, yet King used verbal aggressive terms and tried to be physical. These Quad stands scare me. Well, apparently also scared the cast, because remember, we see how Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone and Dr. Heavenly started changing up their storyline and their story after they got a lot of backlash from the Quad Squad last season. But I told you, we ain't scared of no Quad Squad or the Sweet Teas. Just saying. Elsie, thank you so much for the super chat. Elsie says, Kempire said, I'm on your on. I don't, did I say that? Thank you, Elsie, for the super chat. We appreciate the support. Rahina, thank you so much for the super chat. Rahina says, I don't think that King picked the right time. Literally, a volcano just erupted. He picked that time to address Dr. G. He could have addressed him in the previous scene. Also, get him, Kempire. This is for the biased comment. It is what it is. There's always going to be someone. And look, again, you don't have to agree with me, but don't come in here calling anybody a name because they don't agree with you. And as I've been saying since the top of this recap in this live, we are watching an edited show, so none of us should be team anybody because we are watching something where we weren't even there. And I already gave you an example of how context is important because it changes the whole scene. Just saying. And as someone else said in the chat, some of y'all are too invested in people that we don't know. Anyways, I'm going to go meditate. I'll talk to y'all later. No playing. Let me get to Dewan is backstage. Dewan, what did you want to share?
Hey, what's up, Kempire? Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me? Dewan, now we can't hear you. What happened? Dewan. Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Kempire?
There we go. Now I can.
Okay. Sorry. The thing with Shaq and, them sitting around and talk about Phadra and all that stuff, I found that entirely weird because I'm like, okay, well, she is single. She is in Atlanta. She can date. Why bring that? Shireen, that's the very first thing you bring to the group. It's, to me, like I said, Heavenly produced this thing. I felt like she knew Shireen was going to come. And I felt like she was like, oh, maybe bring something up about Phadra or whatever, because they had already said they felt some type of way about Phadra, and she had already made some comments before this season, so they kind of were icing her out. And it was just like poorly executed television. It was like we all knew it was just a setup, and it just made me feel some type of way. And then the thing with King, I don't think his approach was wrong. I think that it was like, all right, once, Dr. G started like backpedaling and all of that stuff, let cooler heads prevail. Why chase him across the beach and go to attack him? And to your point, I thought the Sweet Tea running thing was perfect cinema. To have her running across the beach like that was just hilarious. Have a good night.
You too, Dewan. Bye. All right, let's get to some more callers. Laurel's backstage. And bring Laurel up next. Laurel, what did you want to share?
Hi, Kempire.
Hey.
So the only thing that I was thinking is that I feel like we've seen on multiple different housewives shows, people running across wherever, chasing each other, and we haven't seen them putting people aside just because they playing tag or whatever, just running around charging at each other. Like how someone said that contested charge at Heavenly literally knocked down, elderly Dr. Jackie. And, no one said anything about her being sat down. So I think really that kind of was just only done because Dr. Gregory went to the police. And I honestly think that he was kind of like trying to antagonize King, like even from the beginning, like how he was like he started off kind of sounded like he was apologizing, but then started like saying, yeah, I told her to shut the F up and shut her F mouth, and you talk too F much.
Yeah.
Like,
Laura, why are you laughing?
So I just kind of feel like he was like just antagonizing him from the jump, like just trying to like get a reaction out of him. So I don't know. To me, it just kind of seems like it was all set up from the beginning. That's all I wanted to say.
Bye, Laurel.
Bye.
Why is Laurel giggling? Laurel is giggling up. It's like, oh my God, Laurel, stop. Okay. Nasser's backstage. We're going to bring Nasser up next. Nasser, what's going on?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey.
Sidebar. You have to trademark Diabolical Trio. I'm giving it to you. You have to trademark it. I think it'd be genius. Okay. Side note. I know it's weird, but I think you need to do it.
Noted.
Anywho, the whole Quad and Dr. G situation, I'm going to be really honest with you. Dr. G was never Quad's type. And we knew that. In the first season, she came on the show. Her friends came into town. They were having drinks. She was all into doughboys and guys who had money, but she wasn't into the professionals. I feel that she was more the type of girl who likes to secure the bag. Nothing wrong with that. No judgment on Quad's part. But I also feel that Dr. G is a stereotypical doctor. He will talk crazy to you because he feels he's a doctor and he can say what you want. That's why they had that weird, I think, mutual combat situation where there was an assault charge and some mess happened. But the way Quad is playing this, I don't like it. I feel like she took advantage of the show. She wanted to elevate herself, but she didn't really necessarily want to be married to medicine. That's why she's bringing this man. Poor King is being thrown into the mix. I think he's being a little gaslit and being told, oh, he put his hands on me. He did this, he did that, blah, blah, blah. But you're not acknowledging you were with this man to secure the bag and live a comfortable life. And the reason why those doctors were icing you out is because they knew that's what you were about. So that's my take on it. I feel King was the aggressor. I do think that it went to a level that it didn't need to. And Dr. D, you're a therapist. You should know how to de-escalate a situation. That's your job.
Thank you, Nasser, for calling in.
You're welcome. Bye.
All right. We're going to bring up Rashawn next. Rashawn, what did you want to share about this live conversation?
Hello, Kempire. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. Packing, getting ready to go to Huntsville. So what
said no one? I'm playing. So why are you going to Huntsville? Do you live there?
What I thought about this episode.
Wait, no, I'm asking you a question.
What's up?
Why are you going to Huntsville?
Oh, business. It is for a business trip. My boss is paying for it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Have a good time. Tell everybody we say hello. Go ahead. Esco's rise.
So what I thought about this episode was it was a lot. It was too much for me. I had to pour me another drink to watch it. And Dr. G knows better. And he should have kind of read the area where all the other guys were trying to de-escalate the situation. And also, yes, I love Quad, but also she did play her part in this. And it was kind of the wrong place at the wrong time for King to bring this whole situation up. This could have been done at a different setting or anything like that. And Dr. Heavenly, that was kind of messy to bring Apollo and his wife around. And the streets, they have been talking about Sheik. Yeah, he's been around the block. It's kind of like Portia. Just saying. But that's all I have about this. Yeah.
Rashawn, have a fantastic time in Huntsville.
Thank you.
Bye. Rashawn knew a lot more that he didn't want to mention. So the streets have been talking. Rashawn didn't want to tell us about... No, I'm not going to even ask Rashawn because Rashawn's still backstage, so I'm not going to even ask. I'm going to bring up Javelle next. Javelle, what did you want to share?
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Kempire?
Hey. Oh no, turn that music off.
I got to pause this because I'm watching YouTube.
Oh, okay.
But I've been watching your show, so I appreciate it. I'm in New York City.
Hey.
And I actually plan to come see you this weekend. So
okay.
I actually started watching Huntsville because of you guys.
Oh, I apologize.
I watched the Sherelle World interview, and I feel like Heavenly gave a lot of insight and context, and that's a big word that you used during this live. And I agree with like a lot of what everyone else is saying. If you actually paid attention to Greg's body language and stuff, he was being very passive aggressive. He wanted to get a rise out of King. And I don't know, this is just my theory. I feel like Greg knows he's a doctor, so he has to uphold a certain reputation. And I feel like Quad knows that too, and she plays on it. Don't get me wrong. I love Quad, but I feel like she plays on that. So I feel like if we look at the first episode, it was like Quad tried to get that reaction to show everybody, I told y'all he's abusive. Like, this is what he does. And he realizes he gave into that. I feel like that's why he keeps trying to mute Letitia. Like, don't get into it with her, because we don't want all of our history dragged out. Like, Heavenly has said, like, in the episodes to come, we're going to see that everything Quad said about him was true and stuff. And she also dropped, like, a little exclusive teaser that, like, the cast is kind of starting to push out Letitia in them. So, I don't know.
I think we can already tell.
Yeah.
We did a live, what was it, last week? It was a separate live from our recap talking about it feels like, and I brought up a clip of Sweet Tea, and I said it feels like they are alienating her out of the group. So apparently what I thought is true.
Yeah, the interview with Sherelle's World was very insightful. I suggest anybody watch it to get really the context of what's coming, the show, everything. But yeah, Greg knew what he was doing.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Joelle. See you on Friday.
See you Friday, man.
Bye. All right. So shout out. We technically hit 750 likes. So I am a man of my word. I will drop the call-in link for those that did not have an opportunity to call in and share their thoughts, but you're getting 30 seconds. You're getting 30 seconds. Alexandra says, Kempire, I see the Taurus in you that I have also. We cannot hide our feelings and frustrations when people try to get a reaction from us. We are too real for all that fakery. That's also an earth sign thing, too. Thank you, Alexandra. Thank you for seeing the Taurus in me. Ray, thank you so much for the super chat. Ray says, Dr. G shouldn't yell at women, unless he's yelling at a woman y'all don't like. This is crazy. What woman was he yelling at in this argument between King and Dr. Gregory? Please explain. Tiara, thank you so much for the super chat. I love your photo, Tiara. Tiara says, was it a mutual altercation or was it only Dr. G who got physical with Quad? I don't have the police report in front of me, but they both got arrested for a domestic altercation that happened at their home. So I don't have the police report in front of me, but I do know that they both got arrested. They both got mugshots that night. But again, there could have been other incidents too. So, all right. And this is part of the reason why I believe they edited out King making that comment about Dr. Gregory liking to get physical with women. Bravo doesn't want this smoke. Okay. This is why they avoided that. All right. Let me get to these quick callers. Kriya, I'm going to bring you up next. Kriya, what's going on?
Nothing much. Hi, Kempire. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. I just want to say that I feel really bad for Sweet Tea.
Okay.
Because they brought her on the show when they were on the outs with Quad. And now they just literally just turned on her and trying to ice her out. So hopefully Phadra brings her on over to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Because she'll do good over there, I think.
Oh, that's an idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Phadra needs to go on and get her girl over at the Real Housewives of Atlanta and leave all those older ladies alone that mean her no good. Okay.
Thanks, Kriya. Bye. Some of y'all are so unintentionally funny without trying. Lorraine says, Kempire, there are other incidents you must look at. Look, and that's important to note, just because we have one police report. That's why I literally just said, I don't believe that was the only time a situation happened in that household. So Lorraine says, Kempire, there are other incidents. You must look at the 911 call. Someone has it online. Look, I believe definitely that was a very toxic and abusive situation, which Dr. Gregory confirmed. during the, I forgot what season that was, reunion. All right, let me bring up shows. Wait, this is Ebony. Ebony. Hey, Ebony.
Hi, Kempire.
What's going on?
Yes, hello, everyone. I want to say that I feel like overall, Sweet Tea was literally brought on to try and get rid of Quad season 10. And then, it backfired. Like you said earlier, Kempire, they gave into the pressure from all of Quad's fans. And I think also the ladies kind of get in heat when they see a handsome man. I think that's why Dr. Heavenly wanted Apollo on the trip. And they really like Quad because they like King. Toya has been in her confessionals talking about King having his shirt open. But overall, I feel like Sweet Tea was brought on just to try and ice out Quad, and that didn't work. And now they're flipping on her. And I have to say, sadly, this is the most that Married to Medicine has been talked about these past 2 seasons where Sweet Tea has been on and all of the toxic, dark drama. This is the most Married to Medicine has been talked about, which is kind of sad.
All right, Ebony. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thanks for having me.
Bye. All right. Hold on. JoJo says, you guys can't tell me if Quad was off the show, T would be entertaining enough to hold her own. Look. Okay. Points have been made. Okay. But JoJo, did you see that video where she was doing the Glorilla, her version of this? Vanessa's backstage. We're going to bring Vanessa up next. Vanessa, what did you want to share?
Y'all wrong with Sweet Tea. Bless her heart. Okay, real quick. There's 2 things going on here. Dr. G, I call him Dr. Strange. He's a weirdo. He definitely was. He was horrible in the marriage. Quad didn't really like him. She gave him a little bit, and she's like, I'm out of here, right? So we're judging him based on the incident that just happened. Yes, they poked the bear. They were poking at him. Dr. G, they poked at him, and then he gave them what they wanted. He started going off. And so, yes, did they instigate it? Yeah, King did, so did Quad. Can we blame him? No, I think Quad is still bitter because of the way he treated her, and she wanted to just give him a look. So the only person I feel sorry for really quick is Sweet Tea, because she got used. Poor baby. She doesn't belong on the show. I hope they leave. And she needs to leave Dr. Strange, because he is a weirdo. But he didn't start it, but he is a weirdo.
I think they're a good match. You don't think they're a good match?
That's how I think.
Okay.
No, because I think he's mean, and I think he's not nice to her, and she does not look happy. She looks like she's tolerating him. Seriously, she's young. She's like, well, this is my first marriage. I want to have a baby. But she's not married to a good man. I don't think he's a good man at all. But he didn't start it, but I don't think he's a good man. She needs somebody more her age.
Okay.
I love you, Kempire.
Thank you, Vanessa. Okay. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Y'all are, who would have thought you guys were this passionate about Married to Medicine? I thought this was a show that you guys don't watch. Anyways, Messenger is backstage. We're going to bring Messenger up next. Messenger, what did you want to share?
I just want to share that Quad came back like the big payback. Do you all know how they humiliated her, threw her off that trip, flaunted Sweet Tea in front of her face? Baby, she came back with the finest man. She gonna twins. She gonna bust out the twins. And that's why Dr. Greg was so mad. 15 times in twins. If it wasn't for Quad, it would be no Married to Medicine. As far as I'm concerned, they're boring. Okay? And she had to put some spice, but she can't. Big payback, baby.
Ooh.
Big payback.
Okay.
That was well deserved. And I just must put this in with Atlanta Housewives. If they not bringing Nene back, they would never get Atlanta Housewives right. Bye. Thank you.
Thanks, Messenger. Bye.
I will be joining.
Thank you. Wow. All right. We're going to get these last couple of callers. Oh, wait. Keisha says, I think that's how you say Kisa, or maybe it's Kisa. Kempire, the Jasmine Gino thing just got better. They're poly now. She posted their fan page, totally unrelated. I know. Well, I just did a short video, right, TikTok? I just did a short video talking about how Jasmine from 90 Day Fiancé was pregnant, but it's with another man. She's still with Gino. Gino's just a financer for that relationship then. Ew. Like, ew. All right, Jocelyn, thank you so much for being a member and for the super chat. Jocelyn says, tolerating him for the access to the money, meaning Dr. Gregory and Sweet Tea. All right, guys, we're almost at 900 likes. Don't forget to like the video. It's easy and it's free. And don't forget you can hear a podcast version of our live recaps and special episodes on the Kempire podcast. Subscribe today. And don't forget to give us a 5-star rating. And don't forget the Kempire After Dark live experience is coming back to New York City at the Green Room 42 for a special live show. So we're going to be talking about the things that we can't talk about here. Okay? There is a live stream option, so for those that want access to that, more information on tickets to meet me in person and the live stream option will be available in the description, okay? All right, Mel is backstage. We're going to bring Mel up next. Hold on. Mel, what's going on?
Hey, Kempire, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. You made me laugh. You said, we don't watch this show. We watching now, that's for sure. We are watching this show now. You know what? I'm disappointed with Quad and Dr. G. I really am, because at the end of the day, I like to look at the real, like the root of the issue. They had a very controversial marriage a couple of years ago.
Yep.
And quite frankly, as a viewer, it made me uncomfortable at the reunion all those years ago when they went into detail. I did not want to rehash their marriage. So now that the women and the producers brought him back up there with Sweet Tea, who I enjoy, and now Quad is coming back, we kind of in that same thing we were a couple of years ago. Quad and Dr. G should have put their foot down and said, we're not going to go down this road again. It's very uncomfortable. I blame both of them. I have issues with King and Sweet Tea I enjoy, but I really will put it in the lap of Quad and Dr. G. They allowed the doctors and the dentists to use them as a way to, yes, I did say use them as a way to sort of pump up the show. I have more thoughts, but Dr. G and Quad, I'm disappointed in the way they allowed themselves to be used this season.
Okay. Thanks, Mel, for calling in.
Thank you.
Bye. All right. We have Elijah backstage. We're going to bring Elijah up next. Elijah, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey.
I just want to say this. First, I want to say yes, King. I don't know. The editing was weird, and I've seen this in a couple other shows where it seems like they go from one argument to another. Like, it's very weird. So I don't know what that was, whether it was King or editing, but that was wrong. I will admit that. But what I'm going to say is this. When they were all, and the men were all together, and Dr. G got up in the first place and I got up mad close to him, I felt uncomfortable because I thought that was when the whole thing was going to pop off. And that happened before King addressed him. So to me, unless it's editing, to me, it's like Dr. G wanted a problem. And he wanted to write a check his mouth can't cash. Because now he wants to go and make a whole restraining order. He needs to take him and his caretaker to Disneyland. I'm tired of it. You know what I'm saying? And they're boring. So that's all I want to say. And I think that they need to stop. Quad ain't right either, but let's be for real. You know what I'm saying? Let's be for real. And the group is letting him talk to Letitia like this. It's just, I don't understand it. And it is I will say real quick, I do think Married to Medicine has this weird cult thing this cult mentality. It's like they have these weird things going on behind the scenes that you don't see. And I think it's far more interesting than what they actually show. But yeah, they need to go. I'm sorry. They need to go.
Thanks, Elijah. Have a good night. Elijah said, Sweet Tea, Dr. Gregory and his caretaker. Okay. Shady Gal's backstage. We're going to bring her up. She will be our last caller. Shady Gal, what's going on?
Ooh, it's been a lot of interesting opinions. I'm going to keep mine short and I'm going to keep my thing brief. I would rather drag my Rancho Cucamonga across the burning sands before I ever let my ex see me upset. Baby, I moved on and I did better. And that's for both Dr. G and Quad. Dr. G, she drunk. Why do you care? And why are you yelling at your wife, which is basically what you used to do to Quad? Like, we ain't seen you for 6 seasons, call her everything but a child of God, because she wasn't right for you. When you came on with your new thing, Quad let y'all have it. You wanted to see her upset. The class as a whole wanted to see her upset by Sweet Tea, and she welcomed that girl. And she was treated so crazy to the point that, heck, King finally had to show himself. They been talking, they been dating. So she had to come on here and let you know she got a man. And look at you, in the same position, blowing smoke in this man's face, cussing out your wife and looking crazy. Sir, get help and get healed. You're supposed to be a psychiatrist, but you over here acting like a 5-year-old with the voice of a 2-year-old. Get some help.
All right, Shady Gal, thank you so much for calling in. All right. Hey, Miranda. Miranda's watching us on Twitch. She says, "Hey, Kempire, so glad to see you on Twitch. Hope more people join you so you can keep coming here." Yeah, guys, follow us on Twitch, TheKempire on Twitch. So be sure to follow us there. I hear we do stream in 4K. I hear you can watch us the best there. So make sure you follow us on there because we probably will start doing some exclusive lives on Twitch. So at TheKempire on Twitch. All right. Anyways, guys, we're almost at 900 likes. We have over 1,600 of you here, though. I don't know why we have that many people watching and not at least closer to the amount of people watching, because you've been here for an hour and a half.
What is this, honey?
Anyways, as I've said at the top of this and throughout this live, just the special live that we did in regards to Married to Medicine and the fight that played out on the show and what Dr. Heavenly had to say, what Quad had to say. No promises. I might go live again. I don't know. Probably not. I have a live show on Friday. I have other things I need to focus on to prepare our great show that we're going to have on Friday. But as I said before, you're watching an edited show. I get it. You can believe what you want to believe, but just remind yourself you're watching an edited show. There are key things that could be missing from a story that would make you change your mind about a situation. So just keep that in mind. And again, this is my opinion. This is my platform. If you want to share your opinion, you could do that on your platform. But don't come over here expecting CNN, because that's not what we do over here. We're talking about a show of entertainment. We're talking about an entertainment show, okay? A reality show. Thank you to our King's Guards. Thank you to our channel members. Thank you to our subscribers. We appreciate you guys. Thank you to everyone that sends in super chats. We appreciate the support. And shout out to those of you that send in Cash App, Venmos, PayPals, things like that. We see that after the live. I have all my notifications off, but we appreciate your support that way. Replay crew, be sure to let us know that you're watching. And don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to let us know your thoughts on some of this new information that came out after we did our recap of Married to Medicine yesterday. If you missed our recap of Married to Medicine yesterday, be sure to check that out. And don't forget to check out the video that we posted earlier today. 2 videos we posted earlier today. Our collaboration with Bravo We're Black. And then I gave you another update on Wendy Williams. Some interesting information came out in regards to why she was placed in this memory unit, but also some information and an update when it comes to her guardianship. So if you missed that, be sure to check that out here on our YouTube channel as well. Thank you all for being here. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday. I can't believe it's Tuesday. Where did the time go? It's already going to be Wednesday tomorrow. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good night. Bye, y'all. Thanks for tuning in to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Podcast. As always, don't forget to give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And for everything Kempire Radio, head on over to KempireRadio.com.